Most people only see the finished video, the clean shelves, the lighting, the collection. But this is usually what the process actually looks like for me. Late nights after putting the kids to sleep, unfinished setups, trying to find time and energy to create after a long day. And somewhere along the way, I realized this channel became something much bigger than collecting. Welcome to Agimat Collects. Let's unbox today's topic. I used to think making videos was simply about sharing figures, toy hunts, and discussions around the hobby. But balancing content creation, work, fatherhood, responsibilities, and everyday life started changing the way I viewed all of this. Because the reality of collecting while raising little kids, it's messy. There are toys all over the floor, half-finished setups, interrupted recordings, background noises I can't control, moments where I finally sit down to edit and realize I'm already exhausted before I even start. And I know most people only see the final upload, the cleaner version, but behind every video, there's usually a tired parent trying to find time between responsibilities to still hold on to something meaningful. Not because I have to, but because I want to. Because somewhere along the way, creating these videos became bigger than just collecting. And honestly, I don't think I fully understood that until recently. Because if you've been following this channel from the beginning, we were never really just talking about action figures. Yeah, collecting was always the topic on the surface, but underneath that, we talked about envy, patience, conflict, community, family, passion, discipline. And when I started reflecting on older videos, I realized something without even planning it. This channel slowly became a reflection of the values I hope my kids carry one day. Not just as collectors, but as people. Because one day, my kids are gonna grow up, and maybe they won't care about every figure on the shelves. Maybe these collections won't even matter to them at all. But maybe they'll watch these videos one day and understand who their father was during this chapter of his life. What mattered to him, how he viewed people, how he handled conflict, why he believed passion should bring fulfillment instead of emptiness, why he valued intention over impulse, why he kept showing up even when he was tired. And honestly, that means more to me than views ever could. Because this channel was never built to chase the algorithm. I never wanted this to become a place where I just mindlessly buy things for content, or create fake outrage, or pretend everything's perfect. Real life isn't perfect, especially when you have kids. Sometimes I'm recording after bedtime trying not to wake anybody up, or I'm filming around nap schedules or redoing takes because somebody starts making noise in the background, or I'm just too exhausted to even hear my own thoughts clearly while editing. But I still do it, not because it's easy, but because I care about the message behind it. And honestly, this channel became something I can reflect on too. A journal, a time capsule, a reminder for myself. Because even I need these conversations sometimes. There are moments where I go back to older topics we talked about and realize I needed those reminders too. To slow down, to appreciate what I already have, to stop comparing and just enjoy the hobby again, to remember why I started collecting in the first place. And I think that's why this channel is meaningful to me. Because at its core, Agimat Collects was never really about owning the most figures. It became about documenting a mindset, a perspective, a stage of life, the late nights, the responsibilities, the passion that survives even when life gets busy. And maybe that's the real beauty of collecting as you get older. It stops being about impressing people and starts becoming tied to memories, experiences, growth, and family. Because toys can break, collections can disappear, but the principles you leave behind, the way you treat people, and the lessons your kids remember from you, those last much longer. And I'm grateful that this channel evolved into something deeper than I originally planned. Since we mentioned the life of being a collector and a content creator, next week I actually want to talk about the current wave of influencers and the different kinds of collecting content that's out there right now, because I think that conversation connects heavily to everything we talked about today. Thank you all for listening. That's all for now, and as always, collect responsibly.